Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys another replay commentary. This is for the other top-voted hero, Ember Spirit. I played very little Ember Spirit in my time. I played him a bunch, maybe not a bunch, but I played him a handful of games when he first came out. And then after that, I pretty much just stopped ever playing him. We can take a look at his Dota buff to see what kind of stats he's got. His overall win rate is quite low for all regions at 43.9%, but if we take a look at the hero meta statistics, he's actually at 47.58 in the 5k mark, which is a lot more accurate for testing whether or not he's good. And I don't know if we can see hero win rates based on heroes. I don't know if we can look at that on Dota buff or not, but yeah, he's basically a very good hero. He's in a place where he's picked a lot in the pro scene. He's picked a lot situationally, but very often some teams will rely on him to be their mid or their carry. He has a couple interesting strengths. First of all, he has a lot of kill potential. He has a lot of snowball potential. He has a lot of escape potential as well, and he has a lot of ability for outplay. So he's a very high skill cap hero. He takes a little bit of practice to get used to. First game I played him, I played awful, and the second game I played a little bad. Moderately bad, I would say, but it was passable. Skill build wise, our lane presence, middle lane or safe lane is pretty much your go-to. Both are pretty good. Middle lane is usually a bit better because he's a little bit weak in lane. The reason for this is because he has very low base armor at 1, and his agility gain is very poor, so he's going to generally he's very weak to physical damage, basically, and he doesn't really get very strong until level 6, basically. Pre-6 he's okay in a 1v1, but other than that it's a little scary. Common skill builds. This one is pretty accurate, I would say. Some players will be maxing out Searing Chains in equivalent with Flame Guard, but you always do max out Sleight of Fist last unless you're Sexy Bambo, because he's crazy sometimes. Get your ulti at every level. That's not true, actually. You don't get it at 11. You actually get your ulti at 15 or 14, 16 is better. And let me explain the skills before I talk about that. I'm a little bit backwards, sorry. Searing Chains basically targets 2 random people in an AoE around you, and it affects them with an immobilize, very similar to Crystal Maiden's Frostbite, except that the players can still attack. So it does interrupt, and it prevents you from blinking, but you can still attack with it up, and it does up to 300 damage. Getting the second skill point gives you 2 seconds to disable, and getting the fourth skill point gives you 3 seconds to disable. So the ability is really good. You kind of need 2 points in it for sure, no matter what. Sleight of Fist basically gives you an AoE, and then very rapidly at 0.2 seconds, you will attack every single person once in that AoE, and you get bonus hero damage, and you do 50% less damage to creeps, because otherwise you could farm a little bit too fast with it. So Sleight of Fist is really good because it synergizes with so many items, because in some ways it's infinite attack speed, very similar to how Wind Ranger is built, in that you focus on getting damage items because you've already got like maximum attack speed from your ability. So Sleight of Fist is very usable with things like Battlefury, because every time you slash you can cleave from it. Things like Daedalus, which means you can crit every time you slash somebody. And things like Scotty are pretty good because you could slow everybody in an AoE. You don't really want to get Basher because Basher has a cooldown, so you can't bash everybody, for example. But things like Battlefury, Daedalus, MKB, Divine Rapier are usually the items that are most valuable on Ember Spirit. And occasionally you will buy defensive item as well, but generally you can get away without having defensive items on Ember. Third skill is Flame Guard. It gives you a magic shield similar to when you activate a pipe. It'll absorb a certain amount of damage, and while it's active, it does a burning AoE. So, for example, if you're laning against an Ember Spirit and he's like level 1 or level 2, his magic absorb is only 50. So if you do any nuke to him, his shield will go away and his damage potential will go away. So that's one counter against him. You can also remove Flame Guard by using diffusals or purges. There's a couple different kinds of purges you can use. Tornado, you can use the Satyr Creep, you can use Shadow Demon Ulti, you can use a Diffusal Blade, you can use Scepter him, and it will remove his Flame Guard. So in some ways you can very easily do 500 magic damage to him. So that's another way to counter him. But generally Flame Guard is very, very good at killing people. You chase people down, you use your Searing Chains, and then they're in a bad spot. Now his Fire Remnants are arguably one of his most abusable abilities. You basically send out a Remnant, which moves based on your movement speed, and then whenever you want, you can spend 150 mana to jump to that Fire Remnant. So usually what you do is you put it somewhere safe, and then you go out to your lane to farm, and if you get ganked, you basically activate your Fire Remnant, you teleport pretty much instantly back to where you were. The only thing this doesn't dodge, I believe, is right clicks. Those will always connect. But you can dodge spells. Like, for example, if somebody throws a magic missile at me, and it's a projectile, I can Fire Remnant through it, and I'm invulnerable while I'm in that. So it's very similar to Storm's ulti. basically the same. In some ways, they are remnant heroes. Also, when you arrive, it does damage. So sometimes you'll see people use multiple remnants to blow up one target. But generally, it's used for chasing. When you're chasing after people, you can catch up very easily with fire remnants, and you can use one to escape as well. But you can't have two up at the same time and go to one and then later go to the other. Basically, if you have two up, you choose which remnant to go to, and you'll jump to the first one, do damage there, and then jump to the second one and land. So you have some ways to play against Fire Remnant. There's only one way that he can go. It's very tricky, though, and very hard to kill him as a whole. So his skill build is pretty much all Searing Chains and Flame Guard in the early game. You get a Fire Remnant at 6, but you don't get extra levels because all it does is increase the Fire Remnant damage by 50, which is generally not worth it. You usually want the 4th level Sleight of Fist ASAP, as well as the 4th level Searing Chains. Basically, all of his basic skills are amazing, and the 4th level Sleight of Fist is really important because it puts the cooldown down to 6 seconds, so you can actually use it very often. Now, while you're doing Sleight of Fist, you can use Searing Chains. So it gives you another way to do a ranged disable, and this is one of the reasons he's really strong in the pro scene. It's because you can use him to catch heroes like Queen of Pain, Anti-Mage, because it prevents them from blinking. And it's on a very low cooldown. It's an 8-second cooldown for this. It does 3 seconds of disable, and that's on a 6-second cooldown for Sleight of Fist. So basically, you can just continuously Sleight of Fist with Searing Chains, set up your allies, or force your opponents to use BKBs and things like that. So here's the common items: Battlefury, Daedalus. Boots of Travel is very, very good as well. I use that a lot this game. What you basically do is you put a Remnant, and then you TP back to base and heal, or you can put a Remnant down, TP to a lane where you want to split push, kill 2 creep waves, and then retreat back to your safety. So Boots of Travel is extremely abusable on Ember Spirit, and your mobility is very high, so very often if a fight is happening around the map, you can support your allies and cover them. What are these numbers? Oh, pick rates? I'm very curious why his win rate's so low. Oh, it's because there's such a low percentage of high-level players. So even though these win rates are really high, the low amount of players, or the lower skilled players, are going to offset the average. So this average looks really bad, but in reality it's not bad. Other good items. Desolator's not a bad item because you can slash everybody with Desolator. It's kind of a cool idea. Blink Dagger is super good right now. It took me a while to buy it in this game, but it's pretty much the follow-up in every program right now. They go Battlefury into Daedalus into Blink Dagger almost every single time because it gives you even more mobility. You can basically put a Remnant back, you can blink forward, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, and then you can teleport back. Especially if your Sleight of Fist is really long, because if you slash 10 units, it actually takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds to do all those slashes. So, and your opponents can see where you're standing when you do the sleight, so they can oftentimes follow up on you. So Blink Dagger is very nice to keep you alive. Now here's your good against because of the way that Ember's Sleight of Fist works, he has the benefit of being amazing against a lot of heroes. Meepo, Phantom Lancer, Chaos Knight, Undying. The reason he's good against all those heroes is because they're heroes that have a lot of things for him to Sleight of Fist. So for Ember, for example, you can Sleight of Fist all the zombies and you can cleave off of them to do damage in an AoE. Phantom Lancer uses Doppelganger and you have a Battlefury and a Daedalus. Sometimes you can just cast Sleight of Fist once and you can put him down to 20% HP because his illusions are also grouped and all that cleave damage comes through. Meepo is the same. He's weak to pure damage because he has high magic resistance and his HP is good but not amazing. If Meepo ever does a poof, you Sleight of Fist and Meepo pretty much just dies right away. So very good against a lot of heroes. Some of these other heroes kind of weak to disables. And have weak disables, so that's why he's good against them. Here's your bad against Storm Spirit, Huskar, Clinks. These are heroes that have high mobility, so they don't really get caught that hard by Ember Spirit. And Clinks does a lot of physical damage, which basically wrecks Ember because his agility gain is bad and you don't buy a lot of agi items, so your armor's low. Bad against Huskar because Ember does mostly magical damage, so he's almost impossible to kill, more or less. And also he does Burning Spears, which very quickly will burn through your Flame Guard. So, and I actually did lane against a Huskar this game, so you guys will be able to see that. So a lot of super good players on here. Maybe is very talented. Pasha plays a great Ember Spirit. Sumail does. Like, these are a lot of really good players. Smash as well. So that's basically Ember Spirit, and he is my least played hero. I had 9 matches played, and I was at 7 before I played this one. So. And apparently my win rate is, oops, that's my lowest win rate. My win rate's not great, it's 44%, but it's just a little bit low below where my average pub game is. So let's hop into the game. Gonna accelerate this a little bit here. Again, I was playing an unranked game here, so it isn't the best example. No wait, maybe this one was ranked. Not sure. So there's some guys that I run into all the time. Alright, so starting items. Oops, that's not my hero. I wasn't quite sure what to buy. I felt like... I figured that I was going to be against a Huskar based on their heroes. They didn't really have a typical mid-hero, so very likely it was going to be a Huskar, so I bought a lot of extra regen for that reason. Most times you don't buy this many items. You'll actually buy a fairly fast bottle, something like that. But because the lane matchup isn't very good, I felt more comfortable going for the high regen, high stout shields, stuff like that. Should use my Flame Guard a little bit earlier here, and it is a Huskar, but he's level 1, so he probably doesn't have that much magic resistance. And as you can see, Flame Guard actually is a really good spell at level 1. Does 30 damage per second for 8 seconds, which if I do the math, it's like 220 damage or something. It's pretty good. I could have also used Searing Chains to disable him for 1 second, but that would have only done 80 damage. Much better for me to use Flame Guard, try to body block him from the front, and then get kills that way. So that was a nice little kill that we got. Helped out my laning stage a lot, because it basically catapulted me into a bottle. If I wasn't able to get the fast bottle, then I would have had even more trouble against Huskar. So your basic goal is you go mid, you get lots of last hits, and you of course transition into your major items. Usually you'll buy an aquilla in the early game. Sometimes players will buy drums. But I believe the common build right now for Ember Spirit players is you actually do skip the drum. Right now they focus more on just getting aquilla, boots of travel, and then you build a Battlefury, and your timing should be around 20 minutes or so. So every time he hits me with the spear right now at level 2, it's doing like 35 magic damage or something like that. And at this point, basically, last hitting is going to be a pain in the butt. It's very difficult, because every time that I come up, he's going to do a lot of damage to me. Luckily for me, he wasn't very focused on his last hitting. Wasn't able to get that one with Flame Guard, unfortunately. And also by activating the Flame Guard, I'm doing... My Searing Chains actually didn't hit him. I think it was a mistake to even use it that early. Took a lot of damage here. A little bit at threat of dying. I bottled once, so that was kind of a waste. And I popped myself here to heal up, and then I realized that the rune was coming up. So this is a pretty big mistake, because I got lucky and found a regen. And I'm just standing here for the experience. It doesn't give me a huge amount, but if I could have had an extra self, that would have been a really big advantage. Because I could go in and get a couple more last hits every time. But basically last hitting at this point is just very difficult. So it's not too weird to see an Ember Spirit struggle against Huskar. I was thinking about pressuring him here, but once his HP gets up to about half, that's kind of a range where I don't feel very comfortable fighting him. I do have a big HP advantage. I really feel like he should be pressuring me more here. So he's by his tower, so I definitely don't feel comfortable going for that. I maybe could have gone aggressive there, perhaps, but with only one Searing Chains, it's just a little bit tough. I was hoping he would get closer for that one, but got my boots here, and I think a TP scroll maybe as well. TP is one good way that you can deal with Huskar. I honestly have to be careful, because every single time that I come up for a last hit, like he hits me with 4 burning spheres. If he's level 4, that just did 280 magic damage. So he just burned through my entire Flame Guard and did a little bit of damage extra, because I went up for a last hit and he hit me 4 times. Tried to Searing Chains there for the last hit, but it didn't work. He was able to deny me. It's kind of the advantage I have to go for. I have to use my mana. Now, mana is really important on Ember Spirit. I didn't talk about it that much in the Dota buff segment, but the game before this, I played against an OD mid, and it was really awful because you need, for example, I need 200 mana to cast both of my spells. It's really one of the places that Ember's a little bit weak, especially in the early mid game. If you drain his mana, he's actually in a lot of trouble. It seemed like Huskar backed off for a moment, so I decided to come forward and aggressively farm these creeps. I want to kill these as fast as possible, because if he's not in the area, then I'm getting really good advantage. That's like the only time I have to CS, essentially. So, experience for that. Another rune is spawning. Go pick that up. But mana is really important, basically. When I was against the OD, he would banish me, and I wouldn't have enough mana to kill him, or even to cast Flame Guard half the time, because my mana pool was so low. That's all you have to play against, basically. I've got my 5th skill point here. Wasn't completely sure what to skill. I feel like Flame Guard's probably, like, for sure what I should skill, because I need more magic resistance and magic block than I need anything else. Again, I can't really fight him. If he attacked me, like, I don't know, 3-4 more times, I would just die there. I am almost 6 though, which is the important part. Once I hit 6, I basically shouldn't be able to die anymore, because I can put my remnant back behind the tower. This would be a good time to do it. Again, I'm going to play pretty bad this game, because I haven't played very many Ember Spirit games, but I kind of have an idea how to play the hero. I basically said at this point, I'm losing my lane. I'm not getting an advantage, so what I need to do is go ganking. And Ember's really good at ganking. I've got full mana pool. I don't have a rune, unfortunately, but this Basilius will help a lot. 3 extra armor is not bad. They did see me rotate though, which is a bit weird. There's obviously a ward on the map. Let me do full vision here. Oh wait, it's from my player perspective, so you should only see what I see anyways. So, I made a little bit of a mistake here. I think Wolfman should have run. He definitely could have lived. Yeah, there's no reason for him to stay. He could have just turned Scorched Earth on a run. At the time, I was like, why did you die there? But, okay, so this was the issue. Normally, what I meant to do was wait until Void uses Time Walk, and then I can leap after him using the Fire Remnant. And my timing was correct for that, but the reason I only went short is because I was slowed by his Time Walk, and if you're slowed, the Remnant goes slower. So I would have had to wait longer or predict where he was going to go. If I really wanted to be guaranteed a kill there, what I should have done is thrown a double Remnant into the 2 most likely places that he'd go, which would be above here, or to the right to the lane. Those are the 2 directions he would likely go. And I didn't guess either of those. I tried to go afterwards, but because his Time Walk has a slow, it slowed me. So I got kind of wrecked there. That sucked. I was able to get within experience range there, which is nice. But that's a really big kill by Pudge. Pudge only got 190 or 180 gold, probably because I sapped half of the gold by being in the area. But I think that's worth it. If you're playing Ember Spirit, you want to be a little greedy and you want to take as many kills as possible, because that's a lot of the ways that he farms. I mean, again, my CS is really low right now, but I'm against a Huskar, and considering I was against a Huskar, I didn't feel too super behind. The first blood obviously makes a massive difference. If it wasn't for that first blood, I never would have even been close to having farmed this game. Have to leap back. I believe this is where I did something stupid. I used my Searing Chains to go for our last hit, and I didn't think that, or I thought that I would be able to ult, but I basically used all my mana. I went from having like just enough to do 1 Fire Remnant to having nothing more. So pretty big mistake by me there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's like one of those mistakes that you have to be really careful about.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fortunately, Gyro didn't get the kill first, so Huskar got the experience. And Chachi got more gold, but the experience would have been nice, I think.
Dire's middle tower
But
is
preventing
under attack.
Huskar from snowballing is always really important.
Radiant's
You could
bottom
maybe
tower is
say
under
that I
attack.
should have a magic wand as well, especially against a Huskar maybe. But that extra HP and mana burst might not do enough. But after playing this game, I kind of feel like I really should be getting a wand. I have a feeling that every Ember Spirit does actually buy a wand, but for some reason I just never really was purchasing it when I played my... I only played 2 Ember games, so it wasn't that many, but... I should have waited until before his ult hit me for myself to jump. So I took a little bit more damage than I needed to, I think. I did catch him with the chain. That's pretty good. There's a lot of heroes made. Probably can't fight this one. Very unlikely that he dived me there. Without a blink dagger, he wasn't going to be able to secure the kill. Just had to pull the creep wave past a little bit here. Oh, I actually didn't have mana.
Behold my searing
Radiant's middle tower is
Unfortunately,
under attack.
there was a tombstone down there and a zombie spawned. I lost a lot of mana from it. And these zombies are so annoying. I can't bottle. Such a pain in the butt. I don't know why I ran into that there. That was very peculiar of me.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
discover what lies beyond.
That was very weird. But that tombstone like completely won that fight. If I was able to regen to full, I could have used all my mana to do aggressive things like dive on people, cast more Syrian chains, things like that. But instead, I only got like, I don't know, 100 mana out of it. I also maybe could have used a wand or something. But I got hit all the way over there. It was so frustrating. I didn't realize that there was a tombstone there. So I got super wrecked by that one. It was a really nice tombstone placement by the Undying. I think that guy accidentally healed himself.
My debt to life is painful. You get the horn.
So I was very close to having BOTs after that fight, but unfortunately dying
Radiant's bottom
delayed things a little
tower
bit.
is under attack.
But either way, I'm doing okay here. He actually stunned a creep there. Got a little lucky. Took a little damage, but not that bad.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top
I used 3
tower is
remnants
under
to score
attack.
that kill, so it's a little scary, but getting kills is so important. And that's how dangerous Ember Spirit is. Anybody that's at like 70% HP, you can just kill them as long as you have Syrian Chains and your Flame Guard. Again, Syrian Chains does 300 damage. The Flame Guard does up to 60 damage per second, and then if I need to, I can burst for
Radiant's
an
top
extra
tower
300
is
magic.
under attack.
So I'm already looking at least 600 magic damage, plus Flame Guard, plus Sleight of Fist. It's just so much damage potential. I think I tanked a little bit too many creeps here.
Dire's bottom tower
That was
is
a bit of
under
a mistake,
attack.
I think. But I've got my BOTs, which is pretty nice to have. So I'm going to be running an extra 50 movement speed.
Double damage. Friend.
TP to this
Radiant's
fight.
middle tower is under attack.
Oh, I didn't have Flame Guard here. I thought I did. Pretty big mistake by me. Our Pudge was being really smart. But yeah, you like absolutely can't make mistakes like that if you're playing Ember in the early game. Like what I should have done is I should have put a Remnant down from where I TP'd from, which I believe was mid lane or top rune. That way, if I get into a bad situation, all I need is 150 mana and I can escape. I really should have a 1 though. There's really no reason not to get at least a magic stick.
Is under attack.
But that was a pretty big throw. I should really have like almost no deaths this game.
Radiant's
And that
bottom
just comes down to
tower
knowing
is
Ember
falling.
Spirit really well. Like, basically, if you're really good at Ember Spirit, if you know the limits of your hero entirely, you never die. Is basically how it works. It's part of the thing that makes the hero so good. You just never die. But I've died. I've died 3 times. So this is what I should have done before, basically. So like, okay, I'm going somewhere, it might be dangerous, I put a Remnant in the base. My BOT's cooldown is not that long anyways, so things will be fine here. Only way that I die is Chronosphere or Black Hole, basically. Or... yeah, pretty much. Slaughter Stun is not going to be enough for them to kill me, unless I don't cast my Flame Guard, is the only way. So for now, going back to last hitting. Again, my last hits are pretty low, but... I was kind of curious to see how far he would go with that. He really didn't. He didn't go all the way. I knew he wasn't going to go all the way, but I was hoping to get him a little farther than that. Fortunately, I can't TP for 3. I kind of wanted to fight bottom, but I probably could have just TP'd top maybe and tried to fight top. It might have been the better play. Game Sleight of Fist, which did almost nothing. Yeah. If Wolfman had mana, he could have came bottom and we could have taken a fight, because we knew 2 of them were top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now there's 3 top. So next item is Battlefury for sure. Or Magic Wand.
Invisibility.
So we had a really good fight there. It's a good cold embrace by Blanket to save Doom and keep Doom healed, and then we all pretty much just blew him up. Called on Rocket Barrage, shredded the Enigma, despite his Black Hole being really good. So that was pretty cool. Hey, I should really have a wand. I can't believe that I considered not getting a wand. So I know that the hero is very mana reliant, right? Which means that it's very clear you sometimes will need a wand. A wand is going to be the difference between you dying or not. Or even a magic stick alone. It's 200 gold, you know? And I already had 2 Ironwood branches, so really I'd be spending like 365 to get a wand instead of just the full 435. Either way, we should be able to get this tower, maybe. It looks like they didn't chrono. It's a little surprising, but I'm level 12 now. I've almost got the max sleight of fist, so I'll be able to use my combos very often to set up kills. Maybe should have bought the broadsword and a regen item instead, but I basically went back to base. I got my claymore, and I'm gonna continue farming until I see a random Huskar. I was a little surprised to see Huskar here. I don't know why he was here personally. Seemed like I think I don't know. He should have gone a different place. Death pushing, I don't think is the right way for him to do things. So at this point where I was asking somebody to TP, I needed like one hero, but Wolfman ended up like dooming a guy mid, which I thought was a little weird. But because we need like 3 heroes to kill the Ember. I definitely can't, or not the Ember, the Huskar. I can't kill him by myself. Winter Wyvern also has a lot of magic damage, so we need a 3rd right click to deal with him, or a 3rd source of damage. 3rd source of magic damage to get his HP really low. Just telling Chris to hide so he didn't know we were there. Now we're just basically waiting for Huskar to go forward. We need somebody to shift. We're still waiting on somebody. But unfortunately all the TPs were used and lost a lot of farm in this and a lot of time spent. But the important thing is that we can now 5-man him. So we end up killing him. All 5 of our heroes end up being there. But the important thing is that Huskar is dead, and now this gives us more map control. So we'll probably push with this since we do have a hero kill. But I'm going to go back to the safe lane and ultimately return to the top lane.
Radiant's middle tower
Still have to be a little worried about things like Chronosphere. Jump top. It's a little dangerous for me to use my... I used 2 remnants for that one as well. Maybe should not have, but secured the kill. Again, it's all about getting kills. Like, I haven't really farmed that well this game, and I don't think I've played amazing, but the important thing is that I've been getting kills. It's the easiest way to pump up your net worth on this hero. That's why the hero fits a player like Sumail so well. It's one of the reasons he was able to play TI5 and just like win entire games, because he just outplayed people. And this hero lets you do that, so it makes him really fun. Definitely one of the most fun heroes in the game in my opinion. Uses a sleight of fist there to get that last hit that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and I lost me the next one, but whatever. I'm gonna use Flame Guard here to push this. I actually don't have a remnant in a safe place, but I can see so many heroes on the map that I can kind of get away with this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's like I just TP'd back to base. I feel like I maybe should have instead put a remnant down, but looks like it's not going to be a big deal.
Dire's top tower.
And now I maxed out my ulti, get lots of stats. Stats are always pretty good on this hero, because you need a lot of mana, you need a lot of HP, and you need agility for damage and armor and stuff. So I'm going to go do annoying things to these guys. Just going to try to slow down their push a little bit. It's not a huge amount of damage or anything, but I can Searing Chains. That actually was very nice, because I got the Void and the Huskar here. And you can do annoying stuff like this if you have a Remnant in a good place. So even if they do jump on me right now, I can just jump away. Same thing. Jump away. The only downside to doing that is it does cost you 150 mana, which is really expensive. Now, I should have seen that coming. I should have flame guarded. Really needed a flame guard there. I don't know why I slighted. That was a bad slight. I wasted like a full second in this fight. I wanted to be in this fight more, but... And see, this is a place where you can definitely criticize me for not having a wand. You can also criticize me for letting the Huskar ulti me, because that cost me another 150 mana. Because if I had just a little bit more mana there, I very likely could have gotten a double kill. Just improper mana usage and improper itemization that I think I could have had if I did have a bit more advantage. That fight could have gone a lot better.
Under attack.
Still have a TP scroll for some reason. I was hoping to get the catapult last hit, but it just wasn't enough damage. Just waiting for another teammate here. This is like really greedy for him to be here. Oh, I messed up my Searing Chains. That was actually a huge mistake. That was a kill. Ugh. Feel bad about that one. Sometimes you do mess it up though. It's a very small window. You basically have to press Searing Chains in the 0.2 seconds that you're hitting somebody with Sleight of Fist. So it's not super easy by any means.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower has
Actually
fallen.
don't know where he went. Oh, he was just like really far. Okay. I was really curious about that. Alright, so Battlefury is up. Now I can farm rapidly. Now my Sleight of Fists are actually pretty dangerous. And now you just build a... what's it called? I got the Lesser Crit, aka Crystallis. There we go. That's it. For your goal should just be pushing creep waves and farming creep waves. Ice armor is really nice to have here. Good against Huskar, good against Slardar, good against...
Don't mind if I do.
It's a really good fight for us. I don't think I did it particularly amazing, but I don't think we didn't know that they were in Roche until Wolfman went in there. Definitely go for Aegis on the Ember Spirit. Pretty much always good to get it on the Ember Spirit because, again, your hero is pretty much about snowballing. You have the potential to completely outplay all of your opponents. You have the ability to more or less never die. So as long as you just never die, then you continue to get items and you get an item advantage, and that's the only way to really match. Like you can't be comparable net worth to the carry, for example. You have to be ahead. I feel like I should have Sleight of Fisted there. I messed up my Searing Chains as well. I wasted so much mana. That was weird. I wasted so much mana on my escape. Really good doing by Wolfman. prevents him from chronosphering. Guarantees that kill.
Dire's middle
And I'll take
tower
any
is
kills I
under
can get for free.
Dire's
Like,
middle
I'm just
tower
not safe
has
enough with
fallen.
remnants, basically. Like, before you go into a fight, you should always put your remnant back,
Dire's middle
because it
tower
protects you
is under attack.
in case things get really bad.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So again, put a remnant back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Should be really, that was so beautiful. Can we just take a moment to look at that again? Because I was so screwed. I was like, okay, I have no HP. I'm getting black hole. I'm definitely gonna die here. We're gonna slow this down. I was like, I'm dying. It's a dunk. I'm dying. I'm dying. And then Chris is like, oh, I got this. I have 68. I have 20 HP, and I was able to get a sleight of fist off at 8 HP. And now look at the damage that's being done. I got so much more value out of my life because of that ulti that Chris did. It was so big. To steal this kill, which is just, that's great, man. So that was a really good fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I look dead here. I really need to. Oh, I don't have flame guard actually. I look dead. I'm just not doing that very well. I'm not anticipating the bad things early enough. I need to like that's why Ember is such a high skilled hero, because you have to think about everything like, oh, Void's gonna be up, he's gonna jump on me, he's gonna attack me. I need to have an escape ready to go. I need to have a remnant ready. And I did not have that, that's for sure. So I'm dead for like forever, because that was my godlike streak. We gave Faceless Void like, I gave him like 1200 gold. So it's Wolfman doing Wolfman things. Did he have Ags here? Yeah, he did. I told him to get an Ags this game because it was so good. It's good against Void. Removes his passive, removes Slar passive, removes Huskar passive. It's very good.
Invisibility.
An AC on Void. I don't know if I like that very much. It's an okay build for killing me solo, is basically what he had. Mask of Madness. It's alright. The Void build would allow him to kill me because I have low armor, so that's maybe what he's going for, but my HP now is getting to a point where I don't even think that's very easy to do.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I thought he was going to chrono faster than that, but he didn't. That Blade Mill did so much work. It's like I got him with my Syrian Chains or something. I don't know why I double remnanted here, that was pretty silly. That was pretty bad. I was more like digesting what happened in that fight and then did something really stupid. So I died again stupidly. We shouldn't be dying like that, basically. I got a lot of gimmies this game, I feel. I don't feel I worked for the win that much. Despite me having a really good KDA. It's more like I didn't play it well. I think this is another hero where I'm probably never going to be a master at him unless I play him a shitload, so I'd recommend watching somebody better than me play him. You can watch just tons of pro players that play Ember Spirit all the time in pubs and in pro games. Eternal Envy played a really good Ember Spirit at Frankfurt Major. front Huskar here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just barely died.
Triple kills.
I did die for that, but it's worth it for my team. Yeah, I only lost, oh sorry, it was 970 hub gold. Okay, that was a shitload.
Now, I took the furnace with your corpse.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
I don't think there was that much I could do in that last fight. I don't think that one was that weird.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Still dead. This stage I can buy a lot of different things. I think a Scotty would be okay for just general survivability. BKB wouldn't be awful, but I think Scotty would be good for HP. Or I could justify more damage items, maybe. Oh, that's right, I got Blink Dagger eventually. I ultimately bought Blink Dagger, but it took me a long time to think of it. Suck out the Void.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I really should have just turned on my Flame Guard instantly. I don't know why I did not.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Again, I didn't do my escape well there. If I got bashed, I died. I played that team fight really poorly. Let's look back and see what I should have done, because I think that's, at this point, that's going to be a lot more valuable to you guys than showing me play this bad. Okay, this was good. This was okay. Now, one thing I could have done, I could have activated Flame Guard, and I could have jumped right here just to do damage, but it's a little scary to do that because I could get Black Gold. Well, actually, they don't have Black Gold. So I think I should instantly turn on Flame Guard right now, because this would be doing the damage to the Huskar. He would have taken like at least 100 damage from this. And I ended up slashing over here, which is pretty good because I killed a lot of zombies. But what actually needed to happen is I just needed to kill this guy. He's not that farmed. Because I basically let like Huskar do his thing on the back of the fight. And again, I used another Sleight of Fist, but I didn't even kill my zombies. I was able to get out there, and then I Flame Guarded down here to get a little bit of an escape, and luckily he did not bash me. It was I wouldn't say it was unlucky for him, because he only hit me twice. He'd have to hit me 4 times and not get a bash for it to be really unlucky, but I probably should have died there. I didn't play that fight well at all, I don't think. So back to farming. Knowing what to do with Ember Spirit is very difficult because everything happens so fast, and if you make a mistake, you just kind of get punished and die. So it makes me, playing Ember Spirit more makes me really expect good Ember Spirit players because they actually figure out exactly what they should be doing at all times. A lot of other heroes are much more straightforward. A lot of heroes are very similar. You're like, oh, you have a disable, you've got this ability, you've got this ability. Ember Spirit is so different than everybody else that it like makes playing him feel very weird. You have a lot of things that you have to manage.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
So I've got an Ember, I've got a Spirit in a place where I'm pretty much not going to die. My net worth. I'm sure it's way above. It's actually not as high as it could be. I've got a ton of kills and a ton of assists, which is snowballing me, but I like farming aggressively in people's jungles. It opens up space in the jungle for my team. Very late armlet. He should have bought the armlet like right away though. The Huskar went really bad items this game. He went Tranquil's Helm of the Dominator with a Solar Crest wand, and then he bought an armlet. Should have been armlet instantly. The damage is too big. Also, it amplifies your inner healing, and it allows you to armlet toggle when you're low, which makes things scary for people initiating. If he doesn't have an armlet, you know exactly when he's going to die, and then you can better go all in on him. But if you couple armlet toggling with an armlet toggling with evasion is what I meant to say, then it becomes a lot more scary because you're like, okay, I can initiate, but I might just miss too much. And then he's going to armlet toggle, and then I'm overextended, and he gets an extra 6 attacks off and I die, you know? So. Huskar is really good against the Ember Spirit, but he needed to itemize better, and he needed to lane slightly better in my opinion. And dying to the first blood was a huge mistake as well. That really hurt him, because it gave me so much early advantage. Don't really want to Remnant back if I don't have to. Again, the mana. Battlefury is good to get my mana pool up, but... Fight was not perfectly ideal. Unfortunately, I did not catch the Enigma there, but... I have to run away from the Huskar for sure. Luckily the stun hit the Huskar and that allows me to live. The fight, me getting initiated on like that, especially when I'm so far away, was a big mistake. The problem was the Remnant was too far away. If I was closer, like what you basically want to do is you want to put your Sleight of Fist and your Searing Chains on cooldown as instantly as you can, because that gives you the ability to cast it 2 to 3 times in a fight, instead of me where I just use it like twice. I also wasn't able to catch the Enigma with my Searing Chains, which made the black hole a little bit better, but we basically have to kill the Huskar pretty fast. What I should probably buy is an MKB, because of the fact that he does have evasion. He did end up buying an Orchid, which is very peculiar. It's not a good Huskar item. Like, it does counter me. It does help him stun or prevent me from jumping out, but I can easily counter it with one item purchase, either a Manta or a Black King Bard. So it wasn't a smart item to buy. He would have been better off, I think, buying like AC or something like that, because then my damage against him would have been even less. At this point, I'm basically behind on items now. But if I had a Blink Dagger in that last fight, I think it's very likely that I could have done a lot more. Because I could have gotten back into the fight instantly, or I maybe didn't have to Remnant to escape from the Huskar. Actually, I would have had to, because I got Malefist, which does player damage. But at this point, I was basically like, oh, I'm an idiot. I should have bought Blink Dagger way a long time ago. That's kind of dangerous. I don't have a Remnant setup, and I use my Blink offensively. You can see Sleight of Fist is a good spell. Now you can check to see if an Ember Spirit has a Spirit Down, by the way. You just click on its hero and you look for this, the Remnant duration. Looks like they are literally all behind me, so this is a little scary. Another way that Blink is useful. You can blink into trees. So I'm kind of just waiting to see where they are and what kind of opportunities I can do. And I can still cut creep waves, for example. Then we saw this Void. For some reason I pressed my TP, that was really weird. I thought I pressed 4, but I must press spacebar accidentally. We didn't get that kill either. That was really weird. That was a absolute 1k MMR play right there. They did get the Void, but I should have been able to get the Undying as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bathed in searing heat. Killing spree.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This was... Man, I messed it up in so many ways. Problem number 1. I didn't throw Remnant as he was jumping. If I would have just jumped, thrown a Remnant and jumped, I just would have lived, 100%. I didn't. This is when I first realized he had an Orchid as well, so you could also argue that me not checking his items really hurt me there. But I instantly basically say, okay, it's time to get a Manta Style, because with a Manta Style I should be able to... it's a really nice hook there. With a Manta Style I can remove the Orchid, I can also remove Amplified damage, so it's actually not a terrible Manta game. The only problem with Manta is it doesn't increase your damage very much, compared to a real damage item. Although it does give you some armor, which is nice, it gives you some mobility. They got Huskar here. just gonna accelerate until I'm alive. Sell my aquilla here. Meet up with the team. Should throw a remnant down. Usually throw it in trees so your opponents can't see where you put the remnants down. And because Huskar's dead, we can probably push high ground. We have to be a little careful about it. Chronosphere and Black Hole, but I feel like if the Void bought something like a Daedalus instead of an AC, that we could have very easily just... This is the most unfortunate Chrono ever. Like, I thought that was the most won team fight ever because I blink dodged the Chronosphere, but in reality, Blanket got caught, so they ended up getting killed there. That was pretty sad. Fortunately, Chachi and I both TP'd to the same place. Finishing Manta is pretty important here. Do I even have a Spirit on? Oh, it was over there by the
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Forgot about that one. My HP is actually looking okay now. Late game Ember Spirit's alright. He's got Strength Gain's actually his highest stacking. It's at 2. It's not great, but it's okay. And with either a Scotty or a Manta or something, you're sitting around 2k or a little bit more than that. You can definitely farm fast. My CS is not very high. I should be a lot higher. But I'm a little bit of a weak farmer. Right now I should have gone straight for the large camp instead of going to medium camp, for example. Because now I'm going from like a medium camp to something else. Instead I could have gone large camp to medium camp over to Roche. But that's what farming patterns mean. So I just got a little bit less efficiency there. I could have been like, I don't know. Like, I was time efficient, I guess. I didn't spend a lot of time, but it ended up not being anything. I could have an extra large camp under my belt. I could have an extra 100 gold, for example. And I could still get to this ancient on time. Things like that really add up over the course of the game and separate a player like me from a player that's like 6 or 7k. One playing carry. I was kind of hoping that he would kind of ditch Pudge here really bad. Oops. Messed up. I had to slide him there, that way he didn't blink aggressively, because there was a chance of that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty clear-cut black hole there. Actually took a lot of damage from the
Dire's middle
Nightfalls.
tower is under attack.
I feel like I could have played more aggressive there. The black hole did a huge amount though. Midnight Pulse is just such a high damaging ability.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now it's pretty straightforward basically. You just jump forward, you look for setups with Ember Spirit, and then your allies kind of profit from that and set it up. Even though that was like Pudge initiating.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't remember what I bought here.
Behold my searing chains.
Yeah, I don't remember what I purchased.
Dire's bottom bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Oh yeah, I was gonna make an MKB. I put a remnant down, so okay, goodbye. See, I even tricked myself. I was like, oh, I'm not even getting items here. Like, I'm just getting items. I'm not even fighting. In reality, I actually did something smart there. Grab the Demon Edge, TP home, go back to the remnant that was in their base.
Radiant victory.
Ember, man, he's a hero. His like scaling potential is just so abusive. All you have to do is like get kills and make sure you don't die that much in the early game. And this happens like every game that somebody plays Ember well, basically, unless they have the counters. And in my defense, or in their defense, they didn't have that many disables other than their big ultimates like Chronosphere and Black Hole. I think the Undying was maybe not the best pick. And if what he maybe should have done was pressured me mid. I don't know what he was doing in the lane. Maybe he was busy there, but I feel like he could have pressured me a lot more. But those are pretty much your straightforward items. Aquilla, Wand, Brown Boots, then you get a Boots of Travel, and then you get a Battlefury. Almost always Boots of Travel before Battlefury lately, because of the mobility it gives you, and you have enough damage from your skills, and then you can translate that into Battlefury, into Daedalus, and then you grab your utility item. Sometimes you do need to grab a utility item instead of the Daedalus if you're doing not so good, but utility either being Manta Style, Black King Bar, Scotty, something like that. Something that gives you survivability is usually your third item. If you're absolutely wrecking or the game is in dire straits, you just buy Rapiers instead because you're slashing so many times for 300. So that's Ember Spirit. I hope you guys learned a bit. Again, I really recommend watching a player who's much better than me play Ember Spirit. You'll probably be able to pick up some things that they do that make them almost unkillable, whereas me, I'm still very vulnerable in my play because I don't completely understand team fights as well as other players do, so I don't always know when I should be retreating or going in, for example. So, alright, thanks everybody for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.